Today we're going to discuss 5 Latin American countries with no foreign income tax. Country number 1 is Nicaragua, a Spanish-speaking country located in Central America. It borders Honduras to the north and Costa Rica to the south. Nicaragua is a pretty young country. With a median age of 24.2 years, Nicaragua is one of the youngest countries in Latin America, which can be quite beneficial when looking to open up a company in this country. Nicaragua is probably not the country you would have first thought about investing in or where you would go to obtain residency in Latin America, but it is a country that is becoming increasingly more popular among American and Canadian expats looking for a second home abroad. There are a number of popular ways on how you can obtain residency in Nicaragua. A very popular option for American and Canadian couples is to purchase real estate in Nicaragua, and the minimum purchase amount is actually relatively low. I mean, especially when compared to other countries where you have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars. In Nicaragua, the investment amount that you have to place in real estate is actually significantly lower. You can buy real estate for less than $100,000. Another option for you would be to start a local company. There needs to be a substantial amount of money invested in the local company for you to get residency this way. But if you have an innovative idea, if you want to invest in Nicaragua and you want to do that to obtain residency, then this is a very valid option. When we're talking about purchasing real estate in Nicaragua, we can see that Nicaragua offers some of the cheapest real estate in whole Central America. Unlike Panama and Costa Rica, where it's actually quite pricey to purchase real estate, you can find decent properties in Nicaragua for less than $100,000. One of the most popular options in Central America is Panama. The country has become very popular in recent years. While Panama had one of the easiest second residence permits in the entire world, they decided to scrape the program where you had to deposit $5,000 into a local bank account that's a Panamanian bank account. This option no longer exists. They got rid of it because it became so popular that they had to raise the requirements by quite a bit. And then what happened is that the country of Paraguay adopted the same program. You could get permanent residency in Paraguay by depositing money into a local bank account, and the amount was also $5,000. But like I said, this has changed in Panama, and also Paraguay scraped this option because it became too popular. Not only did it become too popular in both countries, the problem was that people were going to these countries and they were depositing the money, but they weren't really living in those countries. And so the governments of both countries decided that, hey, we do need a little bit more commitment than just the 5K bank deposit, and this is how things changed. Panama is certainly one of the more reputable countries in Latin America. It has a great airport that connects you with North America, right? With the US, Canada. I mean, you can fly to most countries in Latin America from Panama. You can get into most countries in Latin America, and you can also fly into Europe. There are several flights that are going into Europe from Panama. So it's a pretty well connected airport. Like Nicaragua, Panama offers a territorial tax system. Income generated from outside of Panama, as long as you have residency in Panama and it's the only residency that you've got and you have no other tax obligations, then you don't have to pay income in Panama on the overseas income. So it's actually quite good. It's quite conducive to wealth generation, and that's where a lot of expats have moved to Panama in recent years to take advantage of Panama's great territorial tax system. All the countries that we're discussing in today's video offer the same system that you can take advantage of. There are a couple ways for you to qualify for residency in Panama. There is the Friendly Nations visa. Like I pointed out early on, the Friendly Nations visa has gotten a lot less friendly in recent years, so the 5K bank deposit option no longer exists. For you to qualify now, you would actually have to either A, open up a company or invest in real estate. Both options require capital, especially the real estate option. You have to invest 6 figures in local real estate. If you want to open up a company, hire yourself, pay yourself a salary, that would be another option. Or you can qualify as a pensioner. Panama is home to some of the most gorgeous beaches on the planet. While it is not the cheapest of countries for you to retire to, it is a country that is very convenient for Americans and Canadians because of the proximity to home. You're looking at the same time zone, or roughly the same time zone. It's a Spanish-speaking country, like all the countries that we're talking about in today's video are Spanish-speaking countries. And so it's much easier to learn the local language. And in Panama City, a lot of people speak English, English. It's not everyone, but a lot of people speak English. Panama City is very modern. We got good infrastructure. Like I said, if you have the tendency of flying out of the country a lot because you want to travel to North America, you want to travel to Europe, or potentially other countries in Latin America, then you can do that from Panama pretty easily. You have direct flights to most countries in Latin America, and like I said, to several countries in Europe as well. Paraguay, the country located in the heart of South America, also offers a territorial tax system. You don't pay income tax on your foreign sourced income. Upon securing tax residency in Paraguay and assuming you have no tax obligations to other countries, you do not pay income taxes on your foreign sourced income as a resident, as a tax resident of Paraguay. Paraguay is a country rich in natural resources, agriculture, water, and electricity. And Paraguay, like I'd say Panama, is home to really friendly people. And Panama's location in the heart of South America offers a lot of security in the event of a war, in the event of a natural disaster. I think Paraguay is a pretty safe bet. How do you get residency in Paraguay? We're being asked this question a lot, and how you do it is without proving economic solvency. Literally any person who is an adult can qualify for residency in Paraguay. If you're from a country that does not have visa-free access to Paraguay, you have to obtain an entry permit prior to traveling to Paraguay for you to apply for residency in Paraguay. Paraguay is a great country if you want to get work done. There aren't too many distractions here. Paraguay works well for a person who is looking to settle down somewhere with a family. And Paraguay is a very communal country. Like, community life is very appreciated in Paraguay. It is highly valued among the locals, and also quite a few foreigners who are living here. They told me that they came to Paraguay because they appreciate this aspect of life in the country. Guatemala, another country less talked about on this platform, also offers a territorial tax system. Guatemala is home to indigenous people. It is home to very friendly, very humble people. So that's important to you. If you want to be around people, nice people, then Guatemala is probably a good option for you. Guatemala is a very young country. It is a country with one of the lowest median ages in Latin America, and Guatemala borders Mexico to the north, also Belize to the north, and also Honduras and El Salvador. It is a country, like I said, that's full of friendly people, and it's pretty easy to travel to Guatemala from Mexico. You have flights to several cities in the US, and there are quite a few options for you to obtain residency in Guatemala. You can get a work permit, you can work for a local company, probably not so likely. You can start your own business, sponsor yourself. You can get into Guatemala through family reunion, or let's say you want to retire. There is a retirement program for North American retirees, for European retirees, or pretty much any retirees who want to go live in Guatemala during the best years of their lives. The requirements for proving residency by economic solvency are actually quite low. You don't need to have a ton of money, and like it is for most Latin countries, the income requirements are quite feasible. They're quite achievable for a North American expat. And sure, you can always get residency by family reunification. You happen to marry a Guatemalan girl or a Guatemalan guy, then you can definitely obtain residency as well. Last but not least, we have Costa Rica. The country known for its pura vida lifestyle is one of the most preferred countries among Americans and Canadians. It is a country that requires some of the steepest investments, though. That's also true when it comes to retirement income, because Costa Rica is just not a cheap place. It is one of the most expensive places in Latin America, yet it is very popular because nature is great. Life is great in Costa Rica. It's family friendly, so it has a lot to offer. But like I said, it comes at a decent price tag. It's not super expensive. It depends on what expensive means to you. But Costa Rica also offers a territorial tax system like Panama, like Paraguay. Income generated from outside of Costa Rica is not taxed if you live in Costa Rica. Part-time, full-time, if you have residence in Costa Rica, you will only be taxed on your local sourced income. So if you have like a property that generates an income, or if you work for a Costa Rican company, or do whatever, as long as it's local income, you would have to pay taxes on that income in Costa Rica. Something that's important, which I haven't mentioned throughout this video, is that the countries that we discussed, they do not have a double tax treaty with the United States of America. So you would have to see whether you need to pay taxes on both of your income, meaning if you have local income, say in Costa Rica, and you're a citizen of America, you may have to pay taxes on that income in Costa Rica and America, and the same can also be said about pretty much all the countries that we discussed, because they do not have the double tax treaty with America. If you're an American abroad and you still hold US citizenship, you still have to file your taxes every single year. If you have any foreign bank accounts or assets, you may have to disclose them to the IRS. So whenever you're doing your taxes, you include the F bar. It's the disclosure of foreign bank accounts, foreign bank account reporting. You have to do this every year. You file it usually with your taxes. And depending on what kind of accounts you have, you may have to report all your accounts to the IRS each year. Which of the discussed Latin American countries with no foreign income tax are you interested in? If you need any help with obtaining a residence permit in one of the countries that we just discussed, please feel free to reach out to us now. Thank you so much for watching Nomad Elite. We appreciate you, and we see you on the next video.